Hey guys, welcome back to another election prediction. So this one, I'm doing Kamala Harris, the Vice President, versus Donald Trump as the Republican nominee. Again, this is 2024. So my last video, and I'm sorry that I haven't been posting a lot as much lately. That's because I'm watching Stranger Things season 4, and that's kind of my top priority. But anyway. So my last video I made was Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Now, I do believe that that's the most likely scenario to happen in 2024. I think that Joe Biden is most likely going to be nominated as the Democratic Party's nominee, and I think that Donald Trump in 2024 is most likely to be nominated as the Republican nominee. So this, I believe, is the second most likely scenario. Harris versus Trump. See, this is second most likely because this is in the case that Biden is not in good health and does not run. He said that he will if he is in good health. But if he's not, then Harris will be nominated, no doubt in my mind. And Donald Trump, of course, I do believe is more likely to be the Republican nominee than Joe Biden is going to be the Democratic nominee. So, therefore, I do think that this is the second most likely scenario. And next, I will be doing the third most likely scenario, which will be Joe Biden versus Ron DeSantis. Then I'll be doing the fourth most likely scenario, which is Kamala Harris versus Ron DeSantis. So let's get into this election prediction. So going to Harris safe states: California, Washington, Hawaii, Illinois, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island. Not Connecticut. Anyway, so Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Oh my God. Vermont, not New Hampshire, Maryland, and D.C. Going to likely states, they're going for Kamala Harris, almost safe, but not quite, will be Oregon, Biden's home state of Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Maine's 1st District. These are all likely states for Hillary Clinton in 2016, and I do think that they would be likely for Harris in 2024. Going to safe states for Trump: Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, North and South Dakota. Quick point: what's going to hurt Harris so much is that she won't do well with the white working class or white rural voters at all. That really will weaken her campaign and ultimately lead to her defeat. Nebraska at large will be safe. Nebraska's 1st and Nebraska's 3rd will be safe. Kansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, West Virginia, and Indiana would all be safe. Going to South Carolina, that will be pretty close to becoming safe for Trump, but Harris is African American, and she will encourage some African American women to turn out to vote for her even more than they did for Joe Biden. But very few, but it won't be quite safe with Harris being African American. Going to Alaska, that will stay likely for Trump because Harris has no white rural appeal. And then going to Iowa and Ohio, I really do see these two states going shifting into that safe column. I mean, Harris will not be known as the candidate to bring back jobs at all, and jobs are a huge issue in Iowa and Ohio. Joe Biden won by returning the white working class back to the Democratic Party. Harris will not be able to do that. They will go back to Donald Trump due to inflation, gas prices, the housing market, whatever, you name it. White working class voters will not be happy with Joe Biden, and that will result in them turning out for Donald Trump in November. Going to Virginia, this will have to be lean Harris, pretty Democratic state, but they really shunned Trump during all of his presidency. And in 2020 they did also, so I do think that it would go to Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party once again. Going to Nebraska, Maine 2nd, I think that this would stay likely for Donald Trump. And that means that Maine at large would be lean for Harris. Alright, moving on. Let's go to Nebraska's 2nd District. I think that this will go lean Trump. It is shifting right slightly. Going to New Hampshire, we'll get to New Hampshire. But going down to Texas, I mean, Harris won't really have much with minority populations. It's not like she's going to turn them out in such high numbers. Biden really was able to in 2020. Not necessarily Hispanics, but African Americans he was. And ultimately, I don't see Harris doing particularly better than Joe Biden with them. If not, she's doing worse, especially with African American men. So Texas, I do think would be able to go to Donald Trump. I think that he would expand his lead here. And yeah, whatever. Going to Florida, I mean, this is not Harris territory at all. They really hoped to win the state. Biden, Harris, the ticket. They hoped to win in 2020. They did not succeed. In fact, it shifted right, and I do think that it will do it once again. I think it will go to Donald Trump by likely margin. Yeah. And then going to New Mexico and Colorado, I mean, I would say that New Mexico would be likely, but Colorado will have to be lean. Hillary Clinton won. Let's see. This Hillary Clinton won in New Mexico by likely margin, in Colorado by lean margin in 2016. I think it would once again go like this, because New Mexico, we do have a more traditional Democratic voters, while Coloradoans, there's more independents, more people willing to vote for the other side. So I do think that those independents would turn out for Trump in high enough numbers to make it lean Harris. Going to the state of Nevada, Arizona, Nevada, Florida too, I forgot to mention this, and Texas, and New Mexico. The problem is that that Latinos are turning away from the Democratic Party in such high numbers, the highest numbers since 1972 to be factual, and that will be a huge problem for Kamala Harris, and it will rise in 2024. It is expected to continue to rise. So Harris and the Democratic Party is doomed for a while in these states, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, and Florida, until they can get that Latino vote back. So I do think that Trump would be able to win Nevada by a lean margin. I think that he'll be able to win Arizona by a lean margin. I think that Nevada will vote to the right of Arizona. And going to the blue wall, Minnesota, which I know Minnesota isn't blue wall, but Rust Belt. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Harris will not have any appeal with the white working class, while Trump was. He was able to win the blue wall in 2016, but Biden won it back in 2020, and as I was saying, Kamala Harris will not keep it. So Donald Trump will win in the blue wall. He's going to win Wisconsin by a likely margin. Michigan, lean. Pennsylvania, lean. He will win these states once again, and he's only going to increase his lead here from 2016. Going to Minnesota, there are too many traditional Democratic voters for it to go to Donald Trump. I think that Harris will win by a lean margin. By the way, Donald Trump has already won this election. Going to New Hampshire, it really is too much of a moderate state to go to Donald Trump. I think that it ultimately will go to Harris by a lean margin. Going down to North Carolina and Georgia, these are really tough states, but I think that Trump will be able to pull out a win in Georgia. North Carolina isn't very tough. I think that this will go lean to Trump. But Georgia really is tough, saying that Biden was able to win it. But really, more African Americans are turning to the Republican Party, and I don't see a win for Harris here. I think that it will go tilt Trump. And this is our only tilt state in this election scenario. But Donald Trump does win with 313 electoral votes. Kamala Harris loses with 225. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, watch all my other videos, and I hope to see you next time.